Welcome back to Keep It Real Boxing. This is CypherBox, and Deontay Wilder yesterday put up an Instagram post basically saying to Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn to check their email that he had sent a counter offer to set up a fight between himself and Anthony Joshua. Now, in that email, Eddie Hearn has now come out and said that basically he has received the email and the offer is from Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder sent the email himself. He said that there's 50 million guaranteed for Anthony Joshua. So no matter what happens, no matter what the fight generates in terms of revenue, Anthony Joshua will walk away with 50 million. There's also these talks about the 50-50 split as well on top of that. So I'm just going to read a quote which I've got from boxingscene.com, and it's a quote from WILDER, and this is what he had to say. An offer went out from Deontay and his entire team to Eddie Hearn and Joshua. The fight would take place at the end of the year, no rematch clause, and we're taking all the risks. $50 million against 50%. If the fight does 40 million, then he still gets $50 million. If it does $200 million, he gets $100 million. It's $50 million guaranteed. Let's see who wants to make the fight. We're trying to make the biggest fight of this generation. That's what this is. We're not undervaluing his guy. We've made an incredible, aggressive and fair offer. He goes on to say, if Anthony Joshua wants to fight Deontay Wilder, he now has an extraordinary offer to accept. Okay. So Eddie Hearn did an interview with IFL TV and he said that he had received the email, but he was questioning a lot of things. So he's saying, you know, if the money's real, then of course we have to really consider it because it's 50 million. Okay. But he was saying a lot of things like he was already starting to, I could see that he was already kind of setting the seed for potential excuses or reason as to why the fight couldn't take place or why they couldn't reach an agreement. So there were little things like where he was saying, you know, oh, well, it's come from Deontay Wilder. It hasn't come from any of his managers. You know, don't disrespect to Deontay Wilder, you know, but I doubt he's got that kind of money. So I want to know where the money's coming from. You know, I want to see the money. You know, where's the date, where's the venue, etc., and all that sort of stuff. Well, not be funny, Eddie, when you offered your $12.5 million to the offer of $12.5 million to Deontay Wilder, and you sent that contract out, in your contract you never stated where the fight was going to take place, where the venue was, etc., what date it was going to take place on. So I don't see why that's a problem now that you've received a contract in return without that information. All those sort of things can be decided later. Right now, what you need to be considering is the money. Yeah, Anthony Joshua himself said that if this is a $100 million fight, then give me 50 million. Team Wilder, give me 50 million up front, and I'll take the fight. Okay. Now he's also turning around and say that, well, the emails come from Deontay Wilder. They haven't heard anything from Wilder's managers, etc. So he's kind of questioning, you know, how real is this? This sounds like a publicity stunt to me from Deontay Wilder. You know, it's a very good publicity stunt, the way he's done it, very smart, very clever, etc. Blah blah blah. Okay, well, Shelley Finkel sent an email today to Eddie Hearn, and it's in boxingscene.com. It's an article in boxingscene.com, and this is what Shelley Finkel had to say to Eddie Hearn. Dear Eddie, with all due respect, you know Al and I for a long time, and you know this is not a publicity stunt. I assure you that we are serious, and we would be glad to sit down with you and provide proper security for the funding and work out all the details. But it all has to start with Anthony Joshua accepting the $50 million offer that he asked for, which is also by far the largest guarantee and largest purse any heavyweight champion in history has ever made. Until then, it would be non-productive to me. Please have Anthony accept the offer that he asked for, and let's get this fight made. Thanks, Shelley. So there you have it. Eddie Hearn yesterday was kind of, you know, making, I suppose, excuses. I don't know what you want to call it, but he was saying, oh, it's Deontay Wilder. He sent that email. You know, none of his managers have sent me this email. No one's been in contact with me. Well, there you go. Now Shelley Finkel has sent you an email to confirm that, hey, we've got the money. Let's sit down and talk about it. You know, but first what we need is Anthony Joshua to agree to take what he asked for, which was the guaranteed $50 million. Once he says that, we can talk about everything you want from that point on. So basically, I'm guessing he's referring that we can negotiate further about other things. You know, we're open to negotiate venues, etc., whatever, you know, ring walks, who comes out first, who comes out last, all that sort of nonsense, who gets announced first, who gets announced last, you know, etc., all that sort of stuff. Okay, but what he's saying is clearly, first just say you're accepting the offer. That's what we're asking. Do you accept the $50 million offer? Good, great, accept it. Let's talk now. You know, so I don't see it. Look, it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Okay, I don't really want to say too much in this video. I just wanted to kind of update you with some information regarding what's happening with this whole scenario of the $50 million offer from Team Wilder to Team AJ. Part of me thinks, you know what, Anthony Joshua, I still feel Anthony Joshua's not fully in the loop with things. I think personally Eddie Hearn still keeps stuff from him, or he distorts the truth. You know, I don't think it's personally. I think AJ will probably take that fight tomorrow. If you got told, here you go AJ, $50 million, there's a contract, sign it, and then we'll talk the rest of the details after you've signed that. You know, he'd probably do it. But Eddie Hearn, you know, is a different matter altogether, isn't it? But like I said, I don't want to say too much yet. I've seen the IFL interview and all that sort of stuff. I do want to break it all down, but I'm just waiting to see. I'm not one of these channels. You get most of these channels out there, you know, they want to get views, they want to get subscriptions, they want to get, do you know what I mean, watch times and all that. They bang out videos, you know, straight away. Me, I'm one of those people who kind of waits and sees to see how things unfold in the story, and then I do a long video and break it all down for you. So that's what I'm waiting for. I want to see what happens tomorrow at their meeting when Eddie Hearn meets Shelley Finkel and Al Heyman tomorrow. He's quite clearly saying, look, you know, just all we need to hear from you is that you're accepting the $50 million, you know, and then we can really talk about what's going on there. So, you know, end of the day, it sounds like to me at this moment in time, sounds quite confident that they have got the money. And not only that, you know what, a lot of people have forgotten, yeah, this is Al Heyman we're talking about. Okay, this is Al Heyman. This is a man who's worked alongside the likes of Floyd Money Mayweather. Yeah, look how much money he's made Floyd Mayweather, which in turn means he's made a lot of money himself. Look how he runs his PBC brand. You know, this guy knows how to make money, and he has got a lot of money. He's got a checkbook, Al Heyman. Not only that, Shelley Finkel's been in the boxing game for years. You know, Shelley Finkel's promoted fights like Mike Tyson, stuff like that. He's been involved in a lot of big heavyweight fights in the past. He's not some amateur. He's a veteran of the sport. You know, I'm sure he's got a lot of connections. Both these men have got a lot of connections with top investors, businessmen, etc. and stuff like that, who will be willing to invest in the fight as well. So, do you know what I mean? It'll be interesting to see what happens. You know, I'm going to wait before I do a long video on this one, I'm going to wait to see what unfolds tomorrow at that meeting and what comes out of it, and then kind of start breaking things down for you guys. But it looks interesting. I'm a little bit excited, I can't lie. You know, you asked for $50 million, they've come back and say, here you go. You know, there was a lot of things saying, oh, why hasn't Wilder come back yet? Why haven't they come back yet? Why haven't they come? You know, Eddie Hearn was doing interviews like it's been over 10 days now. They still haven't got back to us. See, they don't want the fight. But when you have to think about common sense, yeah, use a bit of common sense. When you have to generate $50 million up front to pay someone, you can't get that kind of money overnight. You got to work out where you're going to source the money from. Are you going to source it out your own business or company? Are you going to get investors involved? You know, where are we going to make this fight? Can we get investors from maybe Las Vegas, a casino, to bankroll this fight? You know, whoever. Yeah, so 10 days, just because it's taken longer than 10 days doesn't mean that there wasn't a counter offer coming. Yeah, and obviously the counter offer has now arrived. So it'll be interesting to see what happens and what unfolds after tomorrow's meeting. You know, and then like I said, on the back of that, I'll do another video. I'm not going to be like all these other channels who are jumping all over it and stuff like that. There are things in the IFL interview that I kind of want to break down from Eddie Hearn. I've already picked holes in it. So I kind of want to just see what happens tomorrow. All right. As always, guys, like, share and subscribe. Until next time, this is Cypherbox reminding you to keep it real.